on, everyone, and welcome to Unlocked with Keys. I'm your host, Mikey Latia, and on today's episode, I have a very special treat for you guys. I have a phenomenal woman that I cannot wait for you all to meet. But before I introduce you to her, I want you guys to go grab a pen, a paper, a notepad, whatever you need, because you're going to be taking notes on this episode. I would like to introduce you guys to a perspective coach, the owner of Rise Coaching, a motivational speaker, an author, and the founder of Pretty Girls Campaign, Lanasia Angelina. Hi.
Hi. Thank you for having me. I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful
so
day.
beautiful out here.
It
so
is.
beautiful.
I'm so happy you joined me today.
I'm happy you had me join you today.
Yes. So I want to just jump right into it because you have so many great things going on. Like, you have amazing. You are phenomenal, okay? I just want to say that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, Lanasia, tell me about how would you describe or even reflect from your younger self to who you are today?
Oh, man. I'm like a completely different person. It's so funny. I transform so much daily that I can barely even recognize the person I was 2 months ago.
Don't it be like that?
It is. It is. When you're
about,
intentional, the growth is quick.
Yes.
Growth is very quick. But I was always a fun-loving kid. I was always happy and joyous, and I experienced a lot of difficulty. I experienced a lot of hardship growing up. I'm breaking a lot of generational curses.
Yes.
But in spite of that, I had a praying mother. She would come in our room and put holy oil on our head in the morning. And really her instilling, my mother instilling the love of Jesus Christ in me is what carried me. I had that grace and favor over my life, and that's what carried me through all of the difficulty, all of the circumstances that I now reflect on and understand, molded me into this powerful woman who was able to use those trials as testimony for good. So,
wow.
Yeah.
And I wanna dig into those specific trials too. Ooh. So how would you, so actually tell me about one of your most memorable experiences in God's presence, just like a time where you really felt and you even heard God speaking to you.
Oh man, it's been so many instances.
Right?
Me and God, we like this. Not all the time, but we like this.
My BFF.
That's my BFF. You know what's so funny? I can tell you about my first experience.
Yeah.
I can remember, my parents divorced when I was 12 years old.
Okay.
And I can remember when they were separated and my father was living with my grandmother at the time. And my mother was always just super supportive of him in spite of everything.
Yes.
And I can remember her picking him up to take him somewhere one time, and we were in the car. And God spoke so vividly to me. I was probably like, I don't know, it was probably maybe 11, during that time, like right before they divorced. And God said that my mother was my father's blessing. And I told my mother that, and she was like, girl, I am blessed.
That ain't what you heard.
And I was just like, I heard the Holy Spirit say that to me at such a young age while I was in the back seat. Like, she is the blessing in his life. And I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that experience.
What did you think that meant?
I mean, I was shut down so quickly. I ain't had time to think about it. I'm like, guess not. But I felt led to say it, and I did. And that was my first experience speaking out about the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Yes. Wow. And I'm sure, and your parents probably didn't talk about it, but it could have brought so much peace to that situation.
Absolutely.
To know my deeds were done. You know what I'm saying? This didn't go in vain. This was, still a great experience. Okay, so I've read your bio and I've read so many different great things that you've done. And one of the biggest things that stuck out to me the most was you leaving your corporate job. Yes, honey. You leaving your corporate job and pursuing your business full time. So what in your heart led you to make that decision?
Well, honestly, it was in my heart long before I made the decision, because that's usually how it works. Our fear, our reluctance. But it was something that God was leading me to do for a very long time. But my, logic was like, no, God, I need this much in my savings, and I need to do this, and this has to be in order, and I have to glean from this leadership. And no, like, I need to learn all these things before I take that leap. But I can remember very vividly on that day. It was funny because I moved my office up into a new room in my home.
Okay.
And you know how when you move rooms, you like got the pictures leaned up on the wall, just waiting because you just can't get to it right away, God forbid. And I had my pictures leaned against the wall, and I have my vision board in a frame. And my vision board was facing the wall, but something told me that morning, like, just put your vision board on the wall, nothing else. I didn't set aside any time to put away any other photos, only the vision board. So I put the vision board up, and on it was my revenue goal for my business this year. In full transparency, it was $50,000. And immediately when I saw that, I was like, you don't trust that God is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above that? Like, you're expecting more from your job this year than you are from your business, because you're expecting to put more effort into your job than you are into your business.
Absolutely.
Not because you're not capable. So even after seeing that, I'm like, this is a vision board. I can put whatever number I want. And I limited God to $50,000. And that's fine, because it's an attainable goal, but I was thinking about what I was able to attain, not what God was able to do if I just allowed him to move in my life and just fully submit to his will. So I was like, all right, I feel some type of way, but you know, I'm gonna still work. Clocked in to work. And I was just still feeling uneasy. And I was feeling uneasy, and I couldn't focus that day. And because I couldn't focus, I just turned on Michael Todd in the background. I didn't even listen to the whole sermon. The first 2 minutes in, he said, you cannot let the vision get out of focus. And I said, okay, I guess I'm quitting today. It was 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It was 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Wow.
And I messaged my leader. I said, I'll need to talk to you at the end of the day. And that was it, April 28th. That next morning, I wrote my letter of resignation, packed up my computer, took it to my job, and that was it. That was the beginning of full-time purpose for me.
That's beautiful. That is such a peaceful decision to make.
It was very peaceful.
Wow.
That's a wonderful word to use, because that's when you know it's God.
Yeah,
Like, I don't feel uneasy about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for you to say that, when you felt that's feeling uneasy, that is definitely the key.
God doesn't operate in that. He doesn't operate in confusion.
Nope.
And when we're feeling those, then we need to check, like, is this God?
And you can't mix fear with faith.
Absolutely not.
It just don't go.
You get one or the other.
Exactly.
That's
exactly. And we're going to tap in. So tell me, how did you eliminate fear from that decision?
It wasn't even a choice. When you choose confidence in God, you don't have to worry about eliminating the fear. And that's the thing about focus. What you focus on magnifies.
Yep.
So because I chose to focus on God in that singular moment, I was listening to Joe Dispenza the other day. He talks about how a mother, when a car is on her child, she's able to just whip the car off the child like that. People talk about adrenaline so much, but what he said was that the reason why she's able to do it is because of absolute certainty. And when you're absolutely certain about something, you forget that fear even exists. And that's where I was in that moment. There was no fear. It was absolute certainty that this is what I should be doing. And I did. And
you're just moving and going as you're told to do.
Absolutely.
And it's just no doubt about it. And I love that. I've experienced that just recently. Just moving.
Just
moving. And not having to question. Just knowing, okay, I heard you. I felt you. That's what you said to do.
And do it.
I got you.
It's always the right decision too, right?
It is, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So tell me, how was that first week of your leave?
Girl.
Explain, because let's be clear now. Everybody know we get geeked, we got these goals, we got this plans, but we got to get real with ourselves on how it's going to go.
Absolutely.
So tell me about that first week.
Girl, I'm still in the first week. What you mean? It's been 3 months. It's like one long week.
It feel like we still here.
It was definitely a high. I was just really spending time with God, spending a lot of time with God. Super excited, just excited. Like, I want everybody to go. Like, everybody about to feel this. I want y'all to know what's going to happen when God shows up, when you just trust him, when you lean into him. And then I was like, all right, God, now what? Like, I got a strategy.
You ain't say.
So, I mean, that first week it didn't even seem real. It didn't even seem real because I was just working. Like, I was working like nonstop. But then that next week, I was like, well, not even the next week. I worked for like the first, just literally sun up to sundown. I was like, because I had made a decision to myself, I'm going to put in the same amount of hours at this job that I'm going to put in for my business. And then I got on this focus trail and realized, you don't need the same amount of hours. What you need is more focused hours, and you'll be able to do more in less time.
I like that.
Because God did not create us to work like slaves. He wants us to tap into his grace and to his power. And yes, still work. You have to work. You have to be diligent. You have to be consistent and committed. But if you tap into the power of God, God is all powerful. Why am I not working with him? Like, it makes it so much easier.
Absolutely.
So yeah, the first week was just full of excitement. And then after that, it got real, and I got more serious about myself.
So what has been the most challenging part of it all?
Trying to figure it out by myself. Feeling like I need to know it all, and having to remind myself every day, you do not have to know it all.
Yeah.
Embrace the process. It's really embracing the process. And honestly, I can say I've gotten a lot better at that. But that was the most challenging part in the beginning, was embracing that. And organization. Oh, that's a real one, y'all. I'm getting real with y'all. Organization. Really organizing your days. Really having a solid routine. I think it's Zig Ziglar who says the success is in the DNA of the routine. And if you can just find yourself a good, solid routine where you can build momentum, the additional things will be much easier to acquire.
So what, give me just a few little insights into your routine that you practice daily.
My routine?
Yeah.
Okay, so I like to share this.
Steps,
I'm happy to share this
because
I want other people to get on board. So I actually just started, I was waking up around 7 and 6, like whatever my body wanted me to do. But now I've disciplined myself to start waking up at 6. That was just last week, but this week already my body's waking up at 5. So I wake up at 5.
Must be
because what I was doing was I was waking up and running and then meditating. But now I wake up at 5. The first thing I do is brush my teeth, because I know I'm about to run. So I brush my teeth, put on my gym clothes, and then I go in and I pray. Well, I actually read my Bible first. Read my Bible, I pray, I meditate. Oh, I make a glass of water in the morning first.
Okay.
So I wake up, make a glass of water, I read my Bible, I pray, then I meditate, and then I go for my run. When I come back from my run, I have another glass of water. Well, I stretch. Then I have another glass of water. I water my plants. It's really not bad.
Yes,
I water my plants. I take my dog out, feed him, feed my son, and then I read.
Awesome.
Before I even shower, like I read. And
Really?
then now I just started going to the gym. So I read, and then I do an hour of work now, and then I go to the gym, and then I come back, shower, and work.
So you go to the gym after your run?
And yeah, I just started this week. I just joined the gym,
That
so now
run is
that's
my workout.
That's my schedule. No, girl, I'm trying to tone and get it all together. But yes, it's prayer, meditation, running, whatever order. And prayer, meditation, running, those glasses of water.
You go,
stretching.
girl. You just go.
But those are the non-negotiables. You gotta have some non-negotiables in your day where even if it's Sunday, that doesn't stop on Saturday and Sunday either. So yeah, I may not do my agenda at the same time on Saturday and Sunday, but those things are consistent. How do you build momentum if you're taking breaks? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So
I like that. That is really key. That's key. You're non-negotiable. I see you post that a lot.
Yeah.
And I love when I never even heard
Necessary.
anyone, use that as a term as far as besides money and banking.
Oh yeah.
But non-negotiables.
Absolutely.
I like that. I need to create me some non-negotiables.
Absolutely. I mean, it's non-negotiable that you brush your teeth and
that I eat.
Exactly. You like, I'm eating 5 times a day.
Know me, I love a good meal at 3. They know.
So yeah, thinking,
Okay.
apply that same thing to, the things that you want to see growth in, areas you want to see growth in.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So tell me, what was your mission behind Perspective Coaching?
Oh man, I really like this question because I realized that good and bad situations only exist in our mind. Life situations happen every single day. It's only good and bad according to how you see it. So if you choose to see it positively, then it becomes that. The biggest heartbreaks in my life, if I was able to look at it as a lesson, as something that propelled me forward towards my purpose, then I gained a sense of peace because of it. So doing that in my life, like the difficulties growing up, you know, I would look back on my life and, you know, I was able to forgive people because of just being reflective and actually seeing something different. Like when you're in it, it's like, man, that really hurts. You know, I'm the victim. But then you get to reflect and transform your perspective towards the situation. And what it does is not only gives you peace, but it gives you power. Because now you can actually stand on that brick that was supposed to, I guess, break you. You know, so yeah, it was something that I practiced in my life, not even really knowing it until I sat down and, you know, had that aha moment. But perspective is like your life is a summation. You like the choices that you make is based off of how you see the world. And if you can just see the world in a more positive light, then your decisions will reflect that.
Right, absolutely.
So in me being an example of that, being able to literally transform, re-envision the way that I see my past. I don't even see my past the same way. I was able to transform my future. So my mission as a perspective coach is to help other people to understand that your life can change just by you changing the way that you see your life. That simple. It ain't even complicated.
It's so easy. It's so easy. I know it's different for many people because some people, everyone's experiences are different.
Absolutely.
Everyone's level of trauma is different. So for people who I would say have a higher level of trauma, less will to say, oh, I can change the perspective. How do you maneuver through those situations?
Well, the thing about that is I'm very serious about the lane that I'm in, and I am not trauma informed. I have worked with people that have dealt with a different level of trauma, but you know, I set the disclaimer that I am not a psychiatrist, I am not a doctor, and I am not a therapist. I am a life coach, and if you are in a space where you can enter a relationship with me and you can move forward, you can be coachable, and you feel like your past experiences won't hinder you, then we can make this happen.
I like that.
But I have experienced, obviously I've experienced trauma, so I've worked with other people that have experienced a level of trauma, and what I typically do is I help them to re-envision their past. So we go through those steps a little bit to actually just have that conversation, go to that place and see the value in it. So being able to identify how it benefited your life instead of how it hurt your life begins to transform the way we see our past experiences and the way that we internalize, you know, I suppose the facts, what we believe the facts were, but yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful. I love the way you put that. I love the way you're even able to transform and to be able to take someone to see the good in their past.
Yeah.
That's really important because a lot of people hold their past accountable.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?